Hello friends, God my hair looks bad. I'm at the grocery store and here's Zane and Jared and we are starting off our shopping stuff for our glorious adventure. And I'm so excited, it's gonna be so much fun. Look, we're in Central City, all right! What the fuck?
Oh my god, your courtesy has inconvenienced all of us.
This is cute. We just came from above, swooped in really.
She's my friend, but not my best.
Teen Girl Squad. Yay! So here's our encampment. We have, of course, a plant. This one's name is Pomona, after Pomona Sprout. So everybody has their own tent. So this huge encampment is pretty great. And of course, our little communal tent area. There's mine, little one back there, and there's Jordan's way back there. Are you in a robotisserie?
Robotisserie.
Yay.
You're gonna go up in flames, David?
Honey, I think he's already up in flames, if you know what I'm saying.
It's very editorial. Well, you know, I did specialize in funerals when I was an altar boy. I wed a few people, and my name's on a few marriage certificates. 5 marriage certificates, not counting myself as best man last year. Funny, I may never have my own.
What else is on your CV?
Yeah, funerals. I do very well with that, both interned via ash and whole body, ground and mausoleum. Oh my god, a quick aside. So
we were on track already.
So in the South, we can't really bury people in the ground.
Because they'll float away.
Well, they will
not
rise
only that-
again and feast upon the living.
Well, there's like the
Every
water
time
table
moving,
thing,
right?
but also when there's floods, they pop out of the ground.
Oh my god, it's like that
No,
scene
seriously.
in Poltergeist.
Yes, like during Katrina, there were thousands of coffins that popped out of cemeteries.
That's hot.
Okay, but the point is that
Just like
I'm
sailed
thrilled
through
by
the
the
point is
that.
that centuries ago, they started making mausoleums which are above the ground. Okay.
Only
So
the
very proper to
surfers.
have a family tomb. Okay, so family tomb would be about 10 feet.
Is it like
high.
Family Feud?
It's like a small house made of
cute
stone.
show.
A small house made
Isn't that a mausoleum?
a mausoleum.
A family
But a
that plays
family
together
tomb.
dies
Okay,
together.
so the family name is on top, perhaps a crest, if you're fancy. And then, you know, you can tell how rich the
If you're
family is by the
Ravenclaw.
quality of marble on the front, or if it's in perpetual care. You would notice that this mausoleum looks like it can only fit about 4 coffins in it. However,
Oh,
there
wow.
might be dozens of names on the front. Well, working in the cemetery for a while, I got to see the process unfold. So, in the bottom of the family tomb is about a 2-foot deep pit. Okay? Now, as people start sliding on in, okay? Now, say you got 4 people in there. Then the 5th comes, and like, oh my god, what are we gonna do with the other? There's no room. Yes, there is. This is what happens. The oldest coffin is brought out, the end is sawed off, and the remains are gathered or brought into a bag, probably from a local grocer. Not Safeway, like one of the family-owned ones.
The Piggly Wiggly.
We actually do have, but this would be Don's Country Store or Greg's. It has to be local. Anyway, so your remains are put in there, and then that bag with your bits is put in the pit. And then the coffin that your family paid $5,000 for is thrown into a garbage can. Well, a dumpster. Now, there are rules that govern when bodies can come out. It is 366 days. So, my family had the issue of like, people started dropping. You know, we had,
Like,
it's a really crass way of saying that, you know, some relatives died. In
We know exactly
rapid
what it meant.
succession. So when my grandfather died, like he could not go in because no one had been dead for more than a year. So he had to go to
Meat
a
grinders,
temporary
that's the punchline to
one,
the story.
a temporary one until 366 days, and then you just do a little swap. You just do a little swap.
Huh.
This is why I'm going to insist that my parents are cremated upon their death. I don't want to have to deal with the family
I would do
mausoleum.
cremation as well. You know, I remember the first time I saw a cremated remain. I was serving a funeral, and I was bringing the smoke, the incense, right, down to the front of the church, and I told the priest that the body was missing. Because usually the coffin is in the front of the church. But all there was a vase and some nice flowers. And what I would later learn is an urn.
So you freak someone out by being like, the body is gone.
The body is not present.
It's like Easter all over again in the worst possible
Let your
way.
mind speculate.
Do we have to look everywhere to find him just like on Easter?
Now, cemeteries can also be very expensive to put somebody in there.
I understand.
So when you die and your entire family hates you and your children don't even know you exist anymore, like was the case of my mom's aunt
Cheeseman
a
Park.
few years ago.
That's where they buried all the poor people.
My mom's aunt died. She lived under a causeway with her 8th husband. Okay?
Gross.
Her 8th husband.
Wait, were they all... She had these husbands simultaneously or in
No.
succession?
Like going through. Okay.
I feel like this is an important detail.
So you know, after 8 husbands, your children probably don't think that much of you. So her children really did not. She died, and my grandmother and my grandfather were the only people that really talked to her at all. But they didn't want to pay for her. Like no one would pay to go bury the woman. Okay. So she was cremated, and my mom's parents and her aunt went to pick up the body, and instead of like getting a family plot, they dug a hole next to the family tomb in Lake Lawn Cemetery outside of New Orleans and dropped her in there while my 82-year-old grandmother was out front keeping watch. And then they had a small, and then they had a small service at the church in town. I don't know if it was well attended.
Wow.